Hello, welcome back. I'm in the
Hello.
seat today because Davey's off spelunking somewhere. He's lurking in the lobby, so he can probably hear everything I'm saying, and he'll appear in a second and tell me off. But anyway, until that happens, I'm in charge. How are you, Craig? All good?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I have to remember to speak and push buttons at the same time.
Yes, you
So
will
if
have to
anything
speak
goes
and
wrong,
push.
I apologise in advance. But yeah, welcome back to another of our Shatterpoint painting sessions, where we are attempting to paint all of the Shatterpoint stuff until we have our live game. It's now booked in. We have our live game at our Haven venue on the 28th of April. So we have 3 weeks on Sunday to get everything painted. I haven't even started on the core box yet because I've been doing the strike packs. Yeah, so I might have to rush out and get an airbrush or something. I don't know.
Some dry brushes or something.
Yeah, or just have a lot of primed minis with some colour on.
Well, that'll work too.
So yeah, we are painting Shatterpoint, as I say, from the lovely Atomic Mass Games. So thank you very much to them. If you're not familiar with Shatterpoint, is a miniature tabletop war game, I guess is the best description. And you can relive all of your fantasy battles in the Star Wars universe. There are squad packs. There's a core box. It's very good product. The minis are detailed, and we have a whole series of these painting episodes on our YouTube channel. And there is a link for you should you need it. Another big thank you to our sponsors at the Army Painter, who make awesome painting accessories and paints. Dave will be the main supporter of our Army Painter because he always uses their I can't remember the bleeding term, contrast paints. Oh look, as if by magic, the PowerPoint presentation comes up. I don't have the PowerPoint presentation. I'm not pushing any buttons at the moment. But big thank you to Army Painter and also Turbo Dork, the lovely people over at Turbo Dork, Greg and Meredith, who make wonderful shifter paints and all lovely things metallic. And pretty good airbrush paints as well, although yes. I don't have an airbrush. But you picked one up, picked a couple up at Adepticon, didn't you?
Yep, picked two.
Two. Is this the first time you've had one?
No, I've got one here that I've attempted in the past. I think I'm trying to find one that I'm comfortable with.
Right. Okay. So because you said you picked up one of the portable battery powered ones.
I did pick up one of the portable battery pack ones.
Does that take multiple different types of brush on it?
No, I think it stays at like a 0.3 needle.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I do have one from Harder
and Steenbeck.
Harder and Steenbeck that you can literally dial in if you want to prime your model. There's a twist setting to prime it.
Yeah.
There's a twist setting to clear go down to detail work.
Right.
On it. But I clog the hell out of it all the time. So
right.
If I could get one that's just easy for me to prime, and get going and do some base coating with, I would be happy.
I think the priming for me would be a big thing. I was priming a lot of terrain stuff over the weekend for our game on Sunday.
Yeah,
and it took forever. So an airbrush would have come in really handy, and I would paint terrain with an airbrush as well. So I need to think about getting a decent one.
Yep.
What are you painting tonight?
I am floating back and forth between Princess Leia, and Luke.
Oh, okay. That's from
the This is Some Kind of Rescue.
Yeah. That's cool.
So the last two out of that set.
Okay.
What are you going to work on?
I am working on one of the bounty hunters from Fist for the Credits pack. So it's the little bat creature and the robot thing. I'm doing that one. I hopefully won't knock the little robot thing off of the base. That's what I'm worried about.
I didn't glue mine on the base yet.
It's probably smart. I have a tendency to be a little bit heavy-handed. So yeah, hopefully things go well. I think Dave might be here. Dave is here, and this is now where I get told off.
Hello. I would not tell you off at all. Can you hear me, first of all?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can loud and clear. Dave is
cool.
back.
So yeah, the first thing is
from the forest. You're back from the caves this week.
Back from the caves. Yeah, been out in the caves as I heard you say, spelunking. Yeah, but I made it. I saw a dinosaur, Jordan. For those of you who know, then you know. But yeah, it was enjoyable.
Good.
There we go. I am painting. I don't know if this is going to come up. Let's try and put this up on. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. So I have got a few minis primed. I'm getting some lag, so we'll see what's going to happen. But I've been.
You're going to do some Mandalorians tonight.
Yeah. And a clone. Yeah. A clone. So I've got 2 Mandalorians and a clone. So I've got Bo-Katan. Yep. That's the plan.
Very good.
Right, I'm gonna switch this around. Zoop, 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 something like that. All right. Is there any echo that you're hearing, by the way?
No. Not any echo, no.
All right. So if you're up for it, then we can ready, steady, paint.
I'm just about to press play on the comforting and the soothing sounds of the Elven Blade.
Go for it.
Not that I can hear it. I'm assuming it's on. I've pushed the button.
I can hear the tweet, tweet, tweet. Oh. Around with the madman. I do.
Craig and I were talking.
How is everybody's time been? Oh yeah. So let's do a catch up. Let's for the next 2 hours, Craig. Just fill it with all your Adepticon updates.
Wow. 2 hours of Adepticon updates. Greg and Meredith were awesome.
The floor is yours.
Great to see Greg and Meredith again.
Cool. You say did they say hi?
They did say to tell you hi. They are looking forward to your trip to Gen Con.
Cool.
Meredith will not be at UK Games Expo.
Oh no. But Greg is?
Greg is.
It was, we'll look after Greg then.
Yep. Friday or Saturday afternoon when I went over and talked to him and tell him goodbye in case I wouldn't see him. Saturday, because my class went to the close of the exhibit hall. And so Greg said they had a really good turnout, had a really good outing at the show. He's like, it was hard for him to decide what to bring. Like they sold out of hats, they sold out of the silicone pallets. He said, I brought 50 silicone pallets because I didn't know. It's the guessing game on what's going to sell. And I said, well, that always is a guessing game when you go to a show. What is somebody going to be interested in this week?
Yeah.
And,
So, but that was good. I was able to say hello to Duncan Rhodes.
Oh, nice.
We were passing each other in the aisleway as he was walking away from his booth. So I stopped and chatted with him for a few minutes.
Good. Did you drop your card in and say, look?
I did. Now, whether it made it back to the hotel that night, but yeah, I left him a card. Spoke with him for a little bit. So, of course, hung out with the boys over at Artist Opus at their booth for a little bit, for quite a while. I know Ross from Faux Hammer and past cons at where he's been working for Artist Opus. So sat and chatted with them for quite a while, and I did my class with them. Did a dry brushing class.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting, a lot of fun. I would definitely it's worth the price of class to take one from them. I look forward to getting a couple more in. Now that I've had my feet wet, I really know what to go look for, what to sign up for. Was talking to a few people, and they're like, "Oh, well, you could have come into my class." I said, "But it was sold out." And they said, "Oh, we would have found room for you," type of thing.
Yeah. So, if you don't ask, you don't get. If you don't be cheeky sometimes. Yeah, everyone obeys the rules a little bit too much because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Right, we sold out. We won't turn up.
I did some of the things that I don't like about that particular convention center, and it's more of a personal preference. That is the first convention that I have ever been to for as long as I've been doing conventions, 30 years probably or more, that I was walked through a metal detector and wanded.
Whoa.
Everybody was forced to go through metal detectors. And people that were carrying bags, all the bags got searched.
Wow.
Oh. And that's going in. That's not.
Yeah, that was going in.
Stealing and coming out.
Yeah, that was just through the indoor. They had no outside food or beverages, so you couldn't even bring in your own water.
That's crazy.
And I bought a bottle of water while I was in there. And then later in the afternoon, I wanted something with some caffeine, so I bought a Diet Mountain Dew. And when I was talking to my wife, I said, "You're going to see some charges show up on the bank card. I don't know what they charge for this water or the pop." And the water was $5 a bottle.
Ooh.
And the pop was $8
for a can.
A 16-ounce bottle.
Right. Okay, but still.
Yeah. 500 milliliters. So yeah, crazy. So you're talking to some of the people there that when it was in Chicago last year, it had been in Chicago for years, one of the suburbs. And they're like, yeah, there was nothing like that last year. In fact, people were
changed
walking
hands,
around.
or is it just growing?
It just grew. They outgrew the facility. Right. So they had people were like oh, it's after hours or it's during whatever, and they would walk around with their rolling cooler and they would have their beer or whatever other adult beverages they may want in it, and nobody batted an eye. Now you could buy beer and assorted beverages there, but I can't imagine what they wanted for those. I didn't even look. I did see Dallas from a distance. We yelled at each other from a distance.
Hey, yo, yeah, I've seen her in badges, man.
And I
Loved you
was
in
telling
badges.
Steve when I got there Thursday after the doors opened to the hall and had gone in, walked around for a little bit, then went over and walked up to the counter and said I'd like to buy the I'm No Jedi pack. And the girl behind the counter was like, well, do you have your ticket? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. What ticket? She's like, well, we're limiting those to 125 a day. I said, oh, okay, fair enough. I wasn't aware of that. And I'm like, so she's like, you'll have to get in line tomorrow morning.
Wow.
To receive your ticket. So I'm like looking around on the counter and everywhere, just trying to see where it had stated this. Because nowhere had I seen that it stated that you had to have a ticket. And not going to do me any good to argue with them. But so I got in line Friday morning to get in to try to make sure I got the ticket. And when I got there, it was like, you're in line, you're queued up outside the exhibit hall to get in. And I was more than, I don't know, I was probably 200 people back.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm not going to get one today. Oh, well, I'll just order one online when they come back available online. And gates opened and part of the crowd went left towards Shatterpoint and the other part went towards the middle, which was Steamforge Games.
Yeah.
They must have had a War Machine.
There is, yeah.
Exclusive going on. So I got in line. That's when Dallas was heading to his class. He had classes every morning from like 8:30 to 12:30 most days. And the Golden Demon booze was so impressive of the artwork that was there. As well as the Path of the Worthy exhibit, the contest that they do. So
are you going to give the Golden Demon a try one year?
I don't know.
Is it like, do they have criteria every year, or do you just submit something?
No, you can. There's open. They publish the list of rules every year for.
Right.
So it could be a single mini, or it could be a squad. It could be a diorama. It could be So they have categories or large scale. But for Golden Demon, it all has to be Games Workshop. Something from Games Workshop. And you can submit it in, it could be their old world stuff. It could be Lord of the Rings set that they've got. Any of the
Cool.
Warhammer. The Path of the Worthy had gorgeous pieces. They had a Cyclops that was using his beams, busting a door open. So the door was flying away, and the beams were LED lit. Looked really amazing. And it seemed like a lot of different companies, miniature companies had some type of painting competitions going on. So definitely ready to go back.
Cool.
Enjoyed myself quite a bit.
Is Adepticon once a year?
Yes. Yeah, it's every year in March. I was talking to a couple of people from California that were there, and one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I made a vacation of this year since they moved Adepticon to Milwaukee. I came." He's like, "I'll be here for." He would have been there for 2 weeks because the first week he was there, he was over in Lake Geneva to GaryCon.
Right.
And he said this was the first year that Adepticon and GaryCon were not on the same weekends.
Yeah.
So he's like, I was able to do both. And GaryCon is one that is on my list as well at some point to do. I think it would be nice. I did see Adam from Army Painter. Told him hello from all of us.
Oh.
Good. Hi, Adam.
This
How are
was
they doing? What were they promoting?
They were promoting a little bit of everything. This was the first con, and I think the first booth that they actually were doing retail sales.
Oh. Were they selling everything or just a little bit of Fanatic?
They speed paints, they were selling sets, individuals, the Fanatic line, the airline, they had those little collapsible water pots. They're like silicone and they just collapse down. Game Envy makes them.
Yeah.
So Game Envy's made a set of them for them. They had them. You could buy them there. The Army Painter logo on them. Yeah. The gaming that was on each side of the exhibit hall. Like when you walked in the exhibit hall, if you went to the left, all the tables along that side were all Atomic Mass, Shatterpoint, Legion, Armada. And then everything on the right was Warhammer based. And then there was a separate room that had Marvel Crisis in it. There was always games going on. There was always painting going on in the hobby fort is what they were calling. I can't remember the name of it. But down one hallway, they had lines of tables set up, lights on them, all set ready to go. And then your different vendors, everybody from Reaper, Army Painter, Monument Hobbies, Games Workshop. I don't think there was any Vallejo, but there was just racks of paints for them to go over and use. Completely stocked.
That's cool.
And then there was all the different little basing materials, grasses and stuff out for you just to use as you went along. Talked to a couple people that were there in the painting section, and they're like, "Yep, we got here late Wednesday night and set up our tables, and this is where they'll spend the con. Was there at the painting all weekend."
Must have been a good atmosphere, though.
Yes, good atmosphere, good bunch of people. Everybody, and it was the right amount of people, even on Saturday, which was the busiest day. It wasn't so congested that you couldn't move through the exhibit hall.
Yeah.
Which is so different from Gen Con. Gen Con, the aisles are narrower to begin with. They're trying to, as much space as they can fill with exhibitors. And then the amount of foot traffic that goes through there on any given time is just crazy. Oh, and in the Steve, when we were talking about the swag bag, also in that bag was a piece of Star Wars Legion. I got crab droids of some sort.
Okay.
But I saw pictures later this week of people's bags, and they got pieces of terrain from Legion, different squad packs from Shatterpoint than what I had received.
That's quite cool that they're not all the same.
Oh yeah, it was amazing that Wednesday night, the amount of people sitting around trading bits and pieces out of their bags.
Brilliant, Steve. Your turn to talk for 20 minutes.
Well, I've been to a Decepticon. Have you been painting anything off stream for our game on the 28th?
Nope. Nope. I'm trying to get the stuff, the terrain built.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can, I'll get it primed. But we will have to see. We need to. We may have to check the date. Anyway.
I did have a look on the AMG site, Craig, and I can't find the assembly instructions for the compact.
It's on the first page now.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Of assembly, yeah.
I was looking on products.
Yeah, it's under assembly now. They put it in the requesting your surrender is up there now. I'm hoping to start assembling that at least this week. Or the weekend we get it. Now, did they have... see the other one yet? Hmm. I did see and was interesting that in some of the demo tables for Shatterpoint, they were using some of the like terrain scatter from Legion
Oh, really?
mixed in, yeah. Because they had a table set up and it was like looked really good, and there was a couple of the speeder bikes. They're all painted up and sitting, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." I said, "Are those coming out for Shatterpoint?" And they're like, "No, that's Legion. It just fit." And he said you'd think that they would come out with some, so maybe they will here at some point. So, the speeder bikes fit really well into the size and everything.
Are the games on the same scale? Do you know? Generally,
They are not. They're close. That is not Legion. This is Legion. So, Shatterpoint, and then there's Legion, size-wise.
okay, yeah. It's quite a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, but at least some of the train pieces they had around wasn't too bad.
Yeah. So you said earlier, Craig, you Friday morning you got there early before the doors opened to get your ticket for the SHATTERPOINT pack.
Mm-hmm.
How long was you queuing up before the convention centre opened to be like, the top two?
I was in line for the exhibit hall to open up for almost an hour.
Wow.
And it's interesting because, of course, the exhibit hall is closed. But they had vendors in the hallway. So there were vendors right beside us where we were queued up for.
Right.
So at
And
least
you said Saturday was the busiest day, was it? How many people were there on the Saturday? Do you know?
probably about 10,000 people.
Right.
Which I think was the biggest crowd because they said they were expecting about 10,000 in attendance.
So I wonder if they'll do something similar at Games Expo, because they are supposed to be selling that back at Games Expo.
I would imagine so.
System.
I think they're going to go nuts for that system, that package.
Yeah. Because there isn't really a queue outside the door system at Games Expo, is there? Because it's a big old door.
Yeah,
Everybody just sort of mills around in a dome.
Not only do they take it off, they must remove it from the website to purchase when it's not like a con weekend. I don't see it up on their website anymore.
Oh.
Here. Ultra white. Okay. Here is brown.
Oh, Craig, I just realised you didn't have your mini cam on. Your mini you.
Oh.
Steve, we need to sort out how I can potentially do mini cam.
Yeah.
In
yes, we do.
StreamYard.
Yeah. To see if there's an app now iPhone. Like Droid Cam's got an iPhone version now.
Did you see the trailer for Underworld? Star Wars Underworld?
No.
Oh. It's a series of shorts coming out on the 4th of May. Centering around Cad Bane and Ventress.
Oh, cool. It's on Disney Plus.
Yes, it'll be on. Yep.
When did you get home from Adepticon?
I got home Sunday evening. I left out early Sunday morning to drive home.
Right. How far was the drive?
8 hours, so 8.5. About 450 miles.
Wow.
Thereabouts. Bad part is there are ways, but no easy way to get there without going through Chicago.
Right.
I proved that it could be done, but on my way there, it was like I'm trying to drive at a pace where I wasn't in a rush, I could get out, stretch my back, walk a little bit when I needed to.
Yeah.
And which was great. So I get to the south side of Chicago, and now I've got a choice. I can either jump on the toll roads or just continue. So I said, hell with it. I don't want to pay tolls. I don't want to. And it was about that time of day where traffic would really start to build up going through Chicago. So I decided I went and drove through the suburbs all the way up to the Wisconsin state line.
Yeah.
Which added about another hour and a half on my trip going. So, not the smartest move I've ever done, but in the end, it was all right.
But you don't know how long you would have got stuck in traffic if you did go through Chicago, though.
This is true.
And I am always, I would prefer to keep moving rather than be sat in traffic, even if it does take me a little bit longer sometimes.
Yes.
I don't have the patience to be sat there.
Yeah. So then I also knew coming home Sunday, I left about 4 a.m. Central Time, and I went ahead and took the toll roads and stuff home because I knew I wouldn't have any traffic that time of morning.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was rainy and foggy.
he was also talking, Craig, about the class you did on dry brushing.
Yes.
Was that something you paid for?
Yes. Yeah. That was a paid class. It was on dry brushing for essentially army painting, how to dry brush your army, getting it tabletop ready, getting it, and the fastest way possible.
Yeah.
They also focused on some OSL lighting tips and stuff with the with the dry brush that I really found interesting and trying to mimic, and didn't have a lot of success right off the bat, but it's all now to muscle memory to train yourself to remember how you did it.
Yeah. I would never have thought to try dry brushing to do OSL.
It was interesting the way they were doing it with their always starting at the the direction that you are wanting the light to hit, and so you're starting your brush that way and fading it out, blending it with stippling
Right.
as well. And I was amazed at the amount of stippling that they were using. There was 16, 20, about 25 people in the class.
Okay.
So, and they did one class a day.
Was it 4 hours?
Yeah, all of them were 4 hours. There were people there doing classes on just painting faces or weathering techniques or how to base your minis.
One of the ones that Dallas was teaching was on skin tone, wasn't it?
Yep. And now I know for next year, just to when I see a class that I want to take starting, just go to the door and say, "Is there an open spot? You got room for one more?"
I suppose, if they get booked, they sell the tickets and people don't turn up, there's always going to be space. And I'd rather the classes be full.
Yeah. Well, the gents from Artist Opus, they were Oh, we can squeeze one more in here. So the extra dollars. But with the artist opus class, I mean, it was an expensive class, but you walked away with one of their dry brush sets, a 5-brush set, and one of their palettes. So can't really complain about that.
No. A wet palette.
One of their dry palettes.
Right.
Their textured dry palettes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The class had us practicing on not only little, like, they called them texture trainers, but they were just throwing down like textured 25 millimeter bases.
All right, okay.
And so you practiced. Actually, Dave must be in the zone tonight.
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long week. It's been a long few weeks, actually.
Yep.
But starting tomorrow at half day, I will be on holiday for a couple of days.
Nice.
So I get a break. And it's tomorrow night I'll be playing D&D, and then Saturday night I'll be playing Pathfinder, and then Sunday is our Haven day, so I'll be playing and running D&D.
Okay.
And then I get Monday and Tuesday off, and I hope to be I'll be doing some mini painting, trying to get my boy to get into it a little bit, especially during half term. Get him off the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So he's bought some Pokemon minis. I've got him some paint. Well,
That will be fun.
give that a go for a couple of days. Not sure what I'm going to paint yet. So yeah, looking forward to that.
That'll be fun.
A couple of quiet, calm days before it all gets busy again.
Mm-hmm.
Are you off a week, did you say, or just Monday, Tuesday?
Just Monday, Tuesday. And Saturday, I think we're going to go see the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
One of mine is going to see it tomorrow afternoon.
It's got Jack Black in it. It's got to be funny.
And Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Supposed to be a rainy weekend here.
Well, I'm hoping that we've had sunshine, but we've had a lot of wind with it, unfortunately. So I'm hoping we get some nice weather. Sit in the garden, paint minis, put the sounds of the oven glade on. See what it sounds like with a bit of bass. Stick in the garden. Away we go.
Thanks, Pete. I know I got a big, lovely head, but I can't see. I gotta crane it in there. The First time since I've been back from the con that I've picked up a brush.
You normally try and paint every day.
Normally try to paint every day. Yep.
It is 10 to 5 minutes left.
Scramble.
Well, I think I've made good progress on that. I did 3.
You did all 3.
Nice.
Finished. Not finished. There's still some tidy up, but I'm pleased with the progress.
That's good going if
Trying
you've
to-
done 3.
Trying to do that batch painting of right, one color, go for each mini with that
Right.
color, come back, go over it again. But there's definitely tidy up. But I'm quite pleased.
I've never got the hang of that. I set out to do it and then end up getting fixated on one bit that I have to do to tidy up there and then on one mini and then forget I've got the other one to do or the other 2 to do.
All right. Do you want to see?
Yes.
All right, go on. Let's do paintbrushes down.
Right. Hang on. Let me just paint this awkward bit in the foot.
Big Tough
Brown
Pete, you
paint
still out there?
around the leg.
19 for a copy. Do spank spank. I think I need a new painting system. I've definitely found that I love the stickers, but this is too noisy when I'm trying to
Camera.
focus on the mini
Oh, okay.
and then behind it. So I'm trying to paint and I can't see. So what I've been doing is I've been using the black one so that I can see the edges to things.
Yeah.
And then paint over it. So I definitely need a different kind of. I like this. I like the racking, but I definitely need a new paint system. Answers on a postcard, or leave your comments below if you're watching those in YouTube.
Right. I'm back. I've managed to erase the brown paint that I plastered all over the leg because I was rushing to do the foot. Are you going to go first?
Yeah. Right. So you control those things, Dave.
Yeah, hang on.
So I've done 3. We have Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
So again, bit too busy, but so it's still again tied up to do.
I like the blue.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yes,
colour
it
is
is.
it you use for the armour piece? Is that silver or is that one of the speed paints?
That is silver.
Okay. Because it seems to have a contrast on it.
Yeah, it's very reflective, but then the model has great detail anyway, so that it picks up all the shadow.
Yeah, yeah.
And I haven't done anything. I will put a wash on it, but that's come out really nice at the moment. So there's no real detailing. I've just put the color on. I've worked
Yeah.
from the bottom layer out with color. There's one of the Craze gang, so one of her team.
Yeah.
This is it's just labeled as female Mandalorian. So slightly different design, slightly different color scheme.
A lot of detail on the helmet, isn't there?
Yeah.
When you were putting them together, the little antenna, do you have to stick that on separately? Is that part of the
No,
head?
that's part of it.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Part of the helmet. And Bo-Katan, you can have her head or you can have the helmet head.
Right.
But
Okay.
I wanted the helmet, so
Yeah. So you didn't have to paint the face on a very second.
Well,
So
saying that, I've done Clone Trooper.
okay. All right. So is that
Yeah.
another one where you get the head or the
Yeah.
or the helmet?
This is what's his face, the commander guy.
Yeah, Cody. That looks good.
So again, I need to do a lot of tidying up and some detailing. But I think he is looking pretty good. I like how the face, you can see how the face has come out, like the detail on the face.
Yeah, you can. That's come up really well. And that's just the speed paint flesh one. I can't remember what
Speed
it's called.
paint doing its job. Yep. And then a dab of black on his chin there, on his bottom lip.
Right.
But yeah, that's it doing its job. How it's supposed to, I think. But it really brings out the detail in the face.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Mhm.
That's come out really well.
You can see I'm proud. I've been I need to do these pauldrons because I'm trying to get the black underlay, and then I've gone over it with a couple of different types of blue.
Right.
So I used Army Painter Blue.
Yeah.
Magic Blue, my favorite. And then I've gone over it with this, which is Be Here Breath. Or Be Here. So, but I might go over it again with this one, which is the Magic Blue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Magic Blue versus Magic Blue. So I'm playing around with those at the moment, see what is the strongest. But I'll go over that again. And that's my 3.
Well done.
1, 2, 3. I've done the jetpack. I haven't painted the jetpacks, but the Mandalorians, Bo-Katan also comes with the jetpacks.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which we saw Craig doing back on the first episode, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So that she doesn't get fixed to the base, does she? It's that gets fixed to the base.
She flies. Yeah. This is the base, and then she will attach to it, and that goes on her back like that. Yeah. And she will fly.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It looks awesome. And the other one has one as well. There we go. So I've got 2. I've got 2 different types. There we go.
Oh, cool.
2 different sizes.
Yeah. They look good. It'd be nice to see them painted.
Yeah. So that's but yeah, I'm pleased I did 3. What I want to get the buildings done. So I'm going to be making some more buildings probably over half term, and then paint them on stream. But also, I want to get a good squad and a bad squad.
Right.
So
yeah.
I'm going to continue to paint them, but I want at least one finished squad, a goodie and a baddie that I can play the game with.
That makes a lot of sense. I've got lots of started squads, none finished.
Yeah, I mean, I concentrated on the lightsaber characters previously.
Yeah.
And I've got all these, but and they're going to be awesome.
Then I want to think, well, if you paint the primaries and the secondaries in each pack, and then don't necessarily paint the minions, that might be okay. But yeah, the idea of having one good squad and one bad squad probably works better.
Just so at least you can play the game.
Yeah.
At the very least, they've all got to be assembled.
Yep.
So that you can play different teams and stuff. But
yeah,
for private home games, but they get painted eventually. So yeah, liking those. Cool. That's it. That's me. I've rambled on.
Right, Craig.
Okay. I mainly focused on lay a little bit, started getting basing down, started bringing up the whites on the robes.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Did you start off with a grey?
It was more of an ivory.
Right.
Kind of a mix between an ivory and a gray. So just kind of.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah, so.
Big Tough Pete says, I love watching you guys.
That's where my head was where it was.
Did you start Luke at all?
Other than just getting some layers on armor, no. I mean, that was just it. He's exactly where he was at earlier.
Right. Let's move my right way so it doesn't focus on that. A lot of paint out today for some reason.
And you're painting mostly black and blue.
Yes, I was. Right, let's get that up. Turn it on. Get a focus. There we go. So I've managed to get all the base colours on. He's painted brown, even though I primed him in black. So head, hands, and feet brown, and bags painted brown. This is one of the bounty hunters from Fistful of Credits back. I can't remember his name. I should know it, but I don't. So I went for a like 70s orange life preserver thing.
Yeah.
Sort of shaded up, and a blue jumpsuit. And I do not have any idea at all why it's glossy. Because all I've done is put a wash over it. So I don't know if it's because I then dried it with hairdryer that it's gone glossy. So I'm going to have to fix that because I really don't like the glossy overalls.
He's wearing like
really
a PVC
weird.
overall.
It's PVC overalls. It's exactly what it is. It looks horrible.
You just come out the club and done a heist.
It's like yeah. I've no explanations why it's gone like that. I really don't know. It's the first time it's ever done it.
Well,
so
hopefully when it dries all the way, it'll tone itself down.
Yeah. And the little robot dude I painted with gunmetal grey and put a sepia wash over it, so it's gone sort of a bronzy colour, and then just did a very very little bit of dry brushing with silver and his red eyes. So good. Finishing will just be layering up browns on the fur and the bag to give it that sort of leather look, and I've got to do pink ears in the picture like bat ears, so got to do that. Yeah. I can't get over the PVC suit.
Crinkles when he walks.
Yeah. It's got to get it off yet. It's going to be there all day.
There's a lot of talcum powder that.
Yeah.
It's like Ross from Friends trying to get out of it.
Right, where's the gold star? I can't remember what it is. There we go.
It's in there, Steve.
It's gold star. Look, it turns on, it turns off, it turns off. So you want to post your votes, and then I can push the button. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. It goes on, and it goes.
My vote goes for Leia or Craig.
Yeah, I think I have to agree because you're painting in white, and I know how notoriously hard that is, and the robe looked pretty good, so I'm going to give you my vote as well.
you. We're going to vote for Steve tonight.
I'm a cranky
No one
pants.
votes for my 3 minis.
You're just an overachiever tonight.
3. 3 to 1. 3. Well, 1, 2, 3.
Well, Pete hasn't voted.
3 to 1. Pete ain't gonna vote.
I think we'll declare it then.
Manscaping.
He's
What
what?
was that?
Manscaping. Did you say manscaping?
It's late.
So well
It's
done.
late.
Well, yeah, he voted for Craig as well.
There you go. You vote for Princess.
The princess.
Well done, Craig. You win this week's gold star. Switch
Thank
Well
you.
done. Cool. Groovy.
Are we back? We are back next week, aren't we?
We are back next week.
Yep.
Maybe should I take over next week, Steve?
What are you trying to suggest? Are you trying to suggest that I may have bumbled my way through this episode?
It's 7 past the second hour. We run a tight ship here, Steve.
8.
Look, just before we finished,
tight.
we were sat in Nattering, and I suddenly looked up and it's 8:50. I was like, "Oh crap, we're supposed to start the chat." So yeah, it was a bit sloppy. I apologise profusely. The professional.
We should do like
title.
episode titles. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Is like Star Wars, Shiny Pants, Manscaping, and Manscaping the Princess. That's one way to do it.
I think at that point we might as well finish before.
I think so too.
Before Dave switches me off. So thank you very much for joining us. Thanks again, Craig, for painting.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week for more SHATTERPOINT. So have a lovely evening and
3, 2, 1.
whatever you're doing tomorrow. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
We're done.
You did this. I did it.
Am I pushing the button?
3, 2, 1. Yeah, you are. I'm not doing it. Look.
Well, I'm pushing the
3,
button. Right.
2, 1.
Hang on, I
3,
just
2, 1.
find the end credits now before I do the
Ta-da.
end credits. Bye.